This is Feinberg in 2022 setting a new record for Minecraft high percents.
Yes! Woo!
A speedrun category where the goal is to build a TNT launcher and reach Y420 as fast as possible. To date, it has only been beaten twice, and I want to join this exclusive club. But there's a catch. First, I've never completed a Minecraft speedrun before. And second, I'm only giving myself 1 week to do it. So the question is, can a complete speedrunning noob beat a former world record set by arguably Minecraft's best player in just 1 week? Let's find out. I started day 1 by resetting seeds until I got a desert spawn, which is important since finding a desert temple is essential in high percent runs. And while I look for my first temple, let me explain how a high percent run even works. As I mentioned earlier, the goal is to reach Y420, and the fastest way to do so is by using a TNT launcher, which requires 16 TNT, a bed, and pressure plates. Everything except the wood for the bed can be found in desert temples. 1 if you're lucky, and 2 if you're not. Speaking of those, I just found my first one. Once the temple is reached, speedrunners quick loot it by using one of the 9 TNT to blow up all of the chests, granting you all the loot and a bunch of blocks. Speedrunners then visit a second temple to get the remaining 9 TNT needed for the speedrun. All that's left is to look for a source of wood and a river, hopefully nearby each other. A TNT is then used to blow up the wood, and speedrunners make a crafting table, bed, and pressure plates. Next, we build the TNT launcher, set our spawn point near it using the bed, build up, and add to fall damage while activating the TNT. You respawn with a very brief invincibility window, so now all that's left is to let the TNT blast you upwards to Y420. And with that, I had my first PB of 7 minutes and 15 seconds. And would you believe that of the 11 hours of attempts I performed and thousands of seeds I scanned, that was my only completion of the day? Most seeds just didn't have 2 desert temples close enough together. And for the few seeds where I did get all the materials that I needed, my inexperience in the category showed, as I messed up the launcher setup many times. It was honestly a little ridiculous. Not to mention the couple dozen attempts where I had mob issues. So, at 10 PM, I called it a day and turned in for the night. Unfortunately, I'm a university student, and on day 2, I had a full day of classes, meaning I only had about an hour to run. And seeing how many times I messed up the launcher setup on day 1, I spent the day practicing building the setup and triggering the TNT. So I finished the day with 0 completions. Luckily, I had no classes on day 3, which meant that I had tons of time to run. But today would end up being a pretty tragic day, containing probably my lowest moment of the entire challenge. It didn't start that way though. In fact, only an hour and a bit into attempts, I got a great seed with 2 temples near spawn. I had a pretty close call with the skeleton in the first temple. Still don't know how I didn't die here. But after overlapping blowing up my tree with looting the second temple, I was collecting my wood and heading to the water source at just 2 minutes and 40 seconds, light years ahead of my PB. And clearly, my off-recording practice had paid off because I built the launcher without any problems and finished with a 425, a massive PB, nearly cutting my last time in half. But the bad thing about starting on a high note is that things can really only go downhill from there. Not even 5 minutes later, I would load into a God Seed, though I had no way of knowing that at the time. I found the temple quickly and looted it like normal. As usual, I used 1 TNT to blow up the chests and grab the blocks faster. I picked up the loot and freeze. See that? 37 gunpowder. Normally, a high percent speedrun needs 2 temples to get enough TNT, but in the extremely rare case that your first temple drops 35 or more gunpowder, you can craft a 7 TNT. Add that to the 9 TNT already in the temple, and you get 16 TNT, which is exactly the amount required to build the launcher. There's just one problem. I had already used 1 TNT to blow up the temple chests, which meant that instead of 16 TNT, I only had 15. And 15 is not enough to build the launcher. The worst part is that the rest of the seed was actually good enough that I could have beaten Feinberg's time by 20 to 30 seconds. Needless to say, I was not a very happy camper. And I did learn, as I never looted my first temple with TNT for the rest of the challenge. I awoke on day 4 raring to go, ready to put the disaster of yesterday behind me. But it seemed that the Minecraft gods weren't quite finished messing with me yet. Early in my attempts, I spawned in probably the coolest high percent seed I've seen to date, a pillager outpost right beside a desert temple. The outpost itself solved several problems immediately. I could get my wood there, the tents had wool and a crafting table, and the surrounding desert provided sand. Everything I needed to beat Feinberg's time, and to do it with style. The only thing left was the temple. If it had 35 gunpowder, the run was on. But I mean, what were the odds of that? Of the nearly 30,000 seeds I had rolled so far, only one had given me 35. Oh my god, I got the gunpowder luck. Internally, I was freaking out. After yesterday's failure, it felt like the universe had given me a second chance. All that was left was to grab the TNT, tower out of the temple, finish the run, and I'd beat Feinberg after only 4 days. You have got to be kidding me. Even after crafting the string from the temple chests into wool, I still didn't have enough blocks to tower out of the temple. I was quite literally 2 blocks short of completing the entire challenge. Had I just picked up 2 blocks of sand on my way to the temple, very different music would be playing. Instead, the pillagers killed me, and that was that. Another god seed dead in the water because of my inexperience with the category. What a lovely end to day 4. It would appear that I used up all of my luck on days 3 and 4, as I wouldn't get a single good seed on either day 5 or 6. RSG giveth, and RSG taketh away. I did get a couple of pretty cool seeds though. In day 5, I got an igloo spawn, and then got murked by the golem. I also got a temple that was already exploded when I got there. And on day 6, I spawned right on an air-exposed shipwreck, something that I didn't even know was possible. And just like that, we'd reached the final day of the challenge. Over the last 6 days, I've learned so much about Minecraft movement and mechanics. I spent a ton of time developing new strategies, putting in hours of research, and practicing off-camera. Today was my last chance to take all of that effort and make it mean something. I wanted so badly to end this video on a triumphant note, to be able to title it, "I beat Feinberg's former world record in just 1 week." But if you're watching this video, you already know that that's not the title you clicked on, because that's not what happened. Day 7 came and went without me beating Feinberg, and honestly, the saddest part is that I didn't even lose in some dramatic way. Nothing crazy happened, no heartbreaking mistake, no once-in-a-lifetime seed. I just spent 2 hours rolling worlds and I wasn't lucky. I wanted this challenge to end with a bang, good or bad, and instead it went out with a bit of a whimper. So here's the final tally. My PB ended up being a 4:25, about a minute and a half slower than Feinberg's run. Over the course of the week, I ran for 28 hours, rolled 63,207 seeds, and in the end, I lost. Normally, failing a challenge like this would make me pretty disappointed, but honestly, I'm not, because this was a lot of fun. I'd never completed a Minecraft speedrun before, and this was the perfect introduction to it. Even though this category and Minecraft RSG speedrunning in general is heavily luck based, that's kind of the appeal. Every time I spawned in and saw a nearby desert temple, I'd get that little hit of adrenaline, that tickle in the back of my mind that this could be the one. And chasing that feeling was enough to keep me hooked, even in the disappointing moments. Anyways, I had a great time. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and sub, and I'll see you in the next run, where I'll be seeing how fast I can speedrun Slime Rancher in just 1 week.